Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield, and I think we should probably take a look at one of my most anticipated games of the year right about now, Alien Isolation. Alistair Hope is here to give us an update. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, it's good to see you again.
Now, Alien Isolation is one of those games that seems almost too good to be true. As someone who grew up in the 80s, Alien and Aliens, two of my favorite movies of all time, you guys are making this survival horror sequel to the original Alien. You've got the original casting coming back in to reprise their roles. It's crazy. I can't believe this all came together.
I know, it's a dream come true for us as well.
Sure.
This is a dream project, and like you said, they have the original cast reprise their roles. Some of them for the first time is utterly incredible.
So what are we looking at today?
So here we have a new slice of the game. This takes place during the first half of the game. And here Amanda is searching for some medical supplies to help her friend Taylor, one of the small Weyland-Yutani crew that came on board the station. We're meeting one of the survivors. Now this guy, Dr. Coolman, is holed up in this room. He's going to ask you to help him, and it's kind of mutual benefit. You'll be able to get some supplies, and he's going to be able to get out. Now he's quite an interesting character, and one of the interesting things about the other survivors on the station is that they're very, very unpredictable as well. So sometimes they're a real benefit to the player, but then again sometimes they can be an obstacle, and so you always need to be, when we meet a character like this, you need to be cautious, as you can't be sure as to what to expect.
About where are we in the game at this point?
Like I said, we're about somewhere in the first half of the game. We've arrived on this station and we're starting to get our bearings. We've realised that there are a few survivors on the station, and obviously the alien is in the area.
We're peeking around the corner.
Yeah. I mean, peeking. Information about the world around you is absolutely critical to your survival. So actually, peeking is one of the kind of core skills that you need to develop. That you're always looking to try and gain an advantage, to try and get some more information about the world around you. So here he's telling you a little bit about the situation and this kind of hospital area that you've stumbled upon.
If anyone hasn't been keeping up, we play as Ripley's daughter, Sigourney Weaver's character from Alien and Aliens.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, when we started this project, we really wanted to have a story that had an emotional connection to the first film, and then of course in Amanda, we had this amazing opportunity to have a character who would absolutely care about what happened to the Nostromo. Not only that, she shares the DNA of Ellen Ripley.
Sure.
And so she's absolutely not a clone of her mother. She's been on her own path, and so she's her own personality and her own character, but obviously she has a lot of the same qualities as Ellen Ripley.
And this isn't a character that you made up. In this actual story, they address her daughter in Aliens. It's scenes that were cut out, actually.
Absolutely. So in the director's cut of Aliens, they introduced this character, Amanda Ripley, and he's introduced by this really untrustworthy character, Burke, who waves a photo of an old lady at Ellen Ripley, and but no one's ever told her story, and so it was a great opportunity for us to put this character who existed in the world, in the universe, and put her into the spotlight and to tell her story. And what would happen if she confronted the same horror that separated her from her mother in the first place?
Do you ever see Amanda in the game?
Yeah. So we tell the story in a variety of means. We have some moments of kind of exposition where we get to see Amanda. So here, the player's using a kind of hacking device. It's very lo-fi technology to hack their way in.
I think I played this game on my Atari 2600.
Right, exactly. Real big chunky pixels. And so here they've hacked their way through into this office. So again, investigating the world and exploring the world, is one of the ways of getting, can really pay off. And here. The character's looking to find some information. So we have these really old 70s looking VDU terminals. And here, if you go diving in, you can get additional information about the world. Here they've discovered a key code to a nearby door, I think.
Warning. Medical facility quarantine.
I think we've also had some kind of quarantine breach. So the alarms are going off, and I think Coolman is trying to find out what's going on. So So again, you got the motion tracker. You know, this is your main weapon. I mean, this is the thing that's going to be the heart of your survival. It's a really imperfect device. It's not a sort of super mini map, but it will be the thing you rely on to navigate the world.
What was changed from focus? Look at the focus change from the mini map to.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So we got company. So yeah, you know, one of the things that we really wanted to kind of go with was this idea that everything has a risk associated with it, and that's no less the case for the motion tracker. So if you use the motion tracker, you gain some information about the world around you, but we also take information away. We blur the background. Now you can switch focus between foreground and background, but again, it's, you know, we really wanted to make people think about every action that they had and the kind of risks associated with it and the consequences. So here the alien has appeared. Now, for every encounter, we give the player a number of options as to how they can try and approach it. So here, it looks like the player is using a flare. Now, if they're lucky, that might attract the alien's attention, and that might buy you some time. So in every encounter, you can take a number of approaches. You can evade, distract, or actually try and confront what you're faced with head on. Here we're trying to distract. And the alien's gone to investigate what that flare was. Now, that's really cool, and you bought yourself some time here and been able to move on without being seen. But the alien will adapt and start to learn about, it'll start to believe it's being played with. And so you can't just keep using the same strategy over and over and over, because it will stop responding. So in that case, if you kept using flares, it would stop, and you'd have to change the strategy and find another path. So again, we're exploring the world and gaining additional information.
What can the alien use to locate you? Line of sight? Sound?
Yeah, so you know, our alien is totally unique, and I mean, we realized early on that we couldn't just script this experience, that we couldn't manually craft it, because if you could predict what was going to happen, if you knew what was going to happen, then the sort of sense of tension and fear would evaporate. And so our alien is just using its senses to try and track you down. It's looking for you, it's listening for you, and that's what the kind of core elements that are driving its behavior. So here, you know, you need to be really cautious. You need to make sure that you aren't seen. You know, you try and get behind objects. You try and break the line of sight so it can't see you. You try and make the amount of noise. You try and make sure that the amount of noise you make is to a minimum. So, you know, you can sprint around in this game. You can. We allow. You know, there's a button to actually sprint, and that can be really useful at the right moment, at the right time, because it obviously allows you to move around the world faster. But sprinting makes a lot of noise, and that will attract attention to yourself. But I mean, I suppose the great thing about this really dynamic and reactive alien is the fact that every time you encounter it plays out differently, which means that that unpredictability keeps the tension, throughout the whole experience. I mean, that's one of the interesting things that I think as developers, you know, we've been working on this game for a long time. We play the game all day, every day, and yet, you know, I could be playing this right now and my heart would be thumping because I wouldn't be able to predict what was going to happen next from moment to moment. And, you know, you have to concentrate, you have to pay attention, you know, you have to give the alien the kind of the respect it deserves in order to survive.
For most of the game, if the alien gets you, like, you're just dead, right?
Well, it's not completely black and white. The alien, obviously, if you get caught by the alien, it can clearly see you and you're nearby, then it will charge you and it will attack and kill you. But it also there's a kind of whole area of grey where it can suspect things. So it will go and investigate if it becomes suspicious, and that will give you a chance to move and again break the line of sight and avoid the alien. So it's you do have a small window to make a choice and take an action to try and survive. It's not completely brutal.
Well, speaking of brutal, I have heard from a lot of people that play it that they die a lot trying to get from the alien. How have you addressed the difficulty curve? If you start playing the game from the very beginning, is it a more natural increase?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been really unfair when we've shown this game to press, because we really drop you in at the deep end. Here's the player's using this kind of crazy device called a noisemaker, which is similar to the flare, but uses sound, and so it looks like the alien's been distracted. So I think, oh, okay. Well, this is a high-risk strategy. You're going to run away, so they're sprinting to try and get away. But that really could be quite fatal. So yeah, oh dear, right. that was the wrong choice. So yeah, we really have dropped people into the deep end and asked you to survive. I think when people get their hands on the game as a whole, we do ease you into the experience, and so you do get to learn about the world and the rules of the world, and you do gain experience over time in order to be better prepared to tackle what's being thrown at you. So here, it looks like we've stumbled across some survivors. Now they're in the same situation as you. They're really desperate to survive, and that makes them really, really unpredictable. So these guys could be friendly to you. They could be of a real benefit, but I think they look quite armed and tooled up. So one of the choices you do have, like I said earlier, was to kind of confront a situation. It's not just about sneaking around. But again, it's very much in the player's hands. It's down to player choice. If you want to play in a certain style, that's up to you. So here it looks like the player's going to use a noisemaker. Now this is massively high risk because this is going to attract the attention of whatever's around. So those guys have become aware of that device, and the alien's appeared and has responded accordingly.
Oh.
So you've got people fleeing.
That's interesting. You can use the alien as a tool for yourself.
It's massively high risk because you've now brought the alien into the mix. Like I said, it's down to player choice, and again, the alien won't keep falling for it, and so you'll have to change your strategy. But it is an option. So in that case, you managed to bypass those human survivors who could have posed a significant threat to you. But now you've brought the alien into the area, and looks like in this case it's paid off. So yeah, I mean the world. I mean we love the whole lo-fi sci-fi aesthetic, that sort of 70s view of the future. I think the guys have done an amazing job of kind of taking you back into that original Ridley Scott universe. The kind of padded walls and the very tactile, very tangible world.
What's the name of this ship again?
So this we're on a station, and we're on a really remote deep space station called Sevastopol.
So what's its story? Why did the man choose to come here?
So this is a very remote outpost, which when we join the story is in the process of being decommissioned. It's a very large installation orbiting this huge gas giant, and it's being in the process of almost being taken apart. And so there's this really small inhabitants that are still present on the station when the story begins. Now here we have an android who's still encased in his box. Again, these guys are equally unpredictable. Sometimes they can be a real benefit, but also if provoked, they can be massively aggressive and a huge danger to the player. So here it looks like we've found some kind of android installation. Now these androids aren't the same androids that we see in the first film. These aren't made by Weyland-Yutani. These are made by a different corporation called Seegson. These are Seegson synthetics. Now Seegson in the fiction are way behind in the tech race with Weyland-Yutani. So these androids are pretty spooky looking, and also much more basic in their design. They're not as sophisticated as Ash, but that brings about its own consequences to the player as well. I think the alien's somewhere here. Yeah. So again, you're having to use the information at hand. So you need to be looking around all the time. You need to be listening. You need to be using the motion tracker. And of course, importantly, it's important to remember that the motion tracker is in the name. If that alien stops, then it disappears. Yeah. And so you need to be really cautious. And again, using you can't rely on it for all the information you need. This game is very much about survival and not about killing. So it is this fantastic game of cat and mouse.
do we learn early on why the alien is here? Or is that something like you hold back
yeah,
for a while?
there's a number of mysteries in the story,
Okay.
which are revealed over the course of the as you progress through the game, and I guess one of the main ones would be how the alien has come to be on the station in the first place, which is kind of at the heart of this story. So here we found an upgrade to the hacking tool. This now allows us to open up areas that previously were locked to us before. So the game obviously has a structure and a story that pulls you all the way through, but you can go back and revisit certain areas once you've upgraded your device. Again, it's down to player choices how they want to tackle the world. Now it looks like the alien's no longer here. See, so as the alien didn't find didn't find you or anything else in this area, it looks like it's moved on. Again, you could play this in a different session, and the alien will behave differently.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the kind of joys of this is hearing everyone's kind of emergent player stories, because everyone's had a different journey and a different experience. So even though people are playing, very much a single player game, it can almost feel like a multiplayer game because everyone's had a different story. And I guess that allows, it's good because you can go back and play again and not only play in a different play style, but also have almost a different journey. So it looks like we've used the upgraded hacking tool to unlock the Android down below.
Now, when I last saw the game at E3, this didn't go over well when we got the Android.
I know,
out.
right? Yeah. So this is the kind of this is the quandary the player's in. I guess one of the things that we're asking the player to do in this game is to make decisions under enormous pressure. As Ellen Ripley does in the first film.
Sure.
We take our values from that, and that's what enables her to survive is her being able to make the right choices under enormous pressure. And so it looks like we need to approach this android, but we're not entirely sure as to how it's going to go down. Oh, this is tricky. So the alien can use, obviously the space that the player moves around in, but it can also use the vent system in the ceiling. So yet again, the alien might appear to be right next to you, but it's can be actually using another means to move around, which makes you always having to sort of second guess as to where it is.
All right, it's going to come out. Now it's possible to play through the entire game without killing anyone, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So you can play the game without killing any humans. So that seemed really important. Again, it was down to we really wanted to put those choices into the player's hands, and so you can play in a different style.
Sure. Does that include androids, or are you gonna have to put some robots down?
I think it's inevitable that these guys, you're going to come across some as Ellen Ripley does, and the Nostromo crew come across an aggressive android that needs to be overcome. So here it looks like he's being a benefit. He seems to be leading us on.
So now you've gotten to do something very, very cool. You've gotten to make an alien canon game. So now that you've made this, would you like to make another one? Do you have more ideas for this universe and what you could do? We're deeply passionate about this universe. Sure. Obviously, I think you can see that in the work that we've done, I think right now we're just really focused on making this the best possible experience. We just really love what we've put together, and we'll see what happens next. Like I said, I'm super excited for it. It's coming out at the perfect time of year, October 7th. Halloween time, I can't wait to just, I think I'll get my girlfriend to play with me, and we'll turn on all the lights.
Absolutely, that's the best experience in the dark.
I'm really excited.
Yeah,
Alistair, thanks so much.
Thanks very much.
Good luck wrapping up the game. Can't wait to play.
Thanks a lot.
Stay tuned. We've got so much more to show you here from Gamescom Live, IGN Live, brought to you by Dead Island 2. Right after these messages.